Hermano. There is a 2,500-year-old book that was written by a Chinese general for kings. You were never supposed to read it. The general's name was Sun Tzu. He wrote it around 500 BC for a king named Helu, who ruled the kingdom of Wu in what is now eastern China. The story they tell is that the king didn't believe Sun Tzu's theories worked, so the general lined up 180 of the king's concubines, divided them into two units, named the king's two favorites as captains, and gave the order to march. They laughed. He gave the order again. They laughed. He had both captains executed in front of the king. The next order, the rest marched perfectly. That's the man who wrote this book. 13 chapters, 103 pages, less than a paperback. You can read the whole thing tonight before bed. The men who run the country you live in read it at 22, in a college you couldn't afford, in a class you weren't invited to. They read it again at 35 when they bought their first building. They read it again at 50 when they bought yours. In English, it's called The Art of War. And every single rule in that book, every single one, is being used against you right now by your boss, by your bank, by your landlord, by the algorithm on your phone, by the cousin who borrowed $800 and never paid you back. You think you're working hard. You're not working. You're losing a war you don't know you're in. Two rules. That's all I'll show you today. Two of the 13, the two that cost you the most money. Open the book. Chapter 1. The chapter is called Laying Plans. That's the title. Laying Plans. Already he is telling you the war is won before it starts. Not in the fight, in the plan. Months before anybody draws a sword. Line 18 of chapter 1. The most important line in the entire book. All warfare is based on deception. Read it again. Slow. All warfare is based on deception. Not most warfare. Not some warfare. Not warfare against bad people. All warfare. Including the ones you're in right now. Including the one with your bank. Including the one with your boss. Including the one with the cousin who borrowed money and ghosted you. Sun Tzu doesn't stop there. He wrote 5 lines explaining what he means. Listen to them. I'm reading them in English exactly the way they were translated by Lionel Giles in 1910. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make him believe we are near. That's the rule book. That's the whole game. 5 lines a Chinese general wrote 2,500 years ago, and every bank, every law firm, every rich family in America still runs it word for word. Now, here's what that actually means for a Latino in America. Every man, every system, every institution that has more money than you got it by appearing to be one thing while quietly being another. The bank that smiles at you in the lobby is not your friend. They are pricing the risk of your last name and your zip code into an interest rate that is 2 points higher than the white guy who walked in 3 minutes before you. He doesn't know it. You don't know it. The smile costs them nothing. The 2 points cost you $68,000 over a 30-year mortgage that is able to attack but seeming unable. That's the line, exactly the line, applied to a 2024 mortgage application. The corporate manager who tells you we're family here, same line. He's seeming weak when he's strong. Family doesn't write you up. Family doesn't lay you off in March. Family doesn't pay you 47% of what the guy 2 cubicles over makes for the same job. The landlord who texts you, no problem, we'll work it out next month. Same line, seeming friendly while quietly filing the paperwork. 2 months later, you get a 30-day notice and a thank you for your tenancy letter on the same day. This is not paranoia. This is chapter 1, line 18. Now look at yourself. You are the opposite of every line Sun Tzu wrote. You are loud when you are weak. You post the new truck the day you buy it before the title is even at the DMV. You post the new chain. You post the trip to Cancun. You announce every move before you make it. Your cousin knows exactly how much you make. Your tia knows what you paid for the down payment. The guys on the block know when you got the promotion because you told them within 48 hours. You are operating with no deception at all. You are showing the entire battlefield your hand. And then you wonder why every time you get a little ahead, somebody, your buddy, your wife, your primo, your contractor, your manager, somehow figures out exactly how to get a piece of it. They didn't figure it out. You announced it. Sun Tzu has another line for you. Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is called The Nine Situations. Line 56. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. Dark, impenetrable as night. Now look at your Instagram story. Look at your last 15 posts. Look at the WhatsApp chat with the family group. Is any of that dark and impenetrable as night? It's a billboard. It's a billboard pointed at every person who could take something from you, and you paid for it, and you're paying for it again every day you keep it lit. The man who outpositions you is not smarter than you. He is not working harder than you. He is just running the deception rule. He smiles. He's late on his rent. He drives a quiet car. He lives below the line. He looks like he is barely making it. And meanwhile, he owns the duplex you rent from, owns the laundromat your wife uses, owns the title on the truck your buddy is making payments on. He's running Sun Tzu, Chapter 1, verbatim, on you, and you don't even know there's a book. Quiet money, quiet men, quiet moves. Sun Tzu has a third line that puts a stake through this whole pillar. Chapter 4. The chapter is titled Tactical Dispositions. Line 1. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. He didn't say first attacked. He said first put themselves beyond defeat, then waited, defense first, position first, survival first, strike second. You are doing the opposite. You are striking first, buying the truck, posting the chain, announcing the deal, signing the lease, and then waiting to see if you can survive what you just did. That's a coin flip. That's not a war. That's a gamble dressed up as ambition. The Latino operator who finally understands Chapter 1 stops broadcasting, stops posting, stops telling, closes the loud door, opens the quiet door behind it. So, move 1. From this video, today, 3 things you stop announcing this week. Number 1, how much you make. Nobody on the cookout block needs that number. Not your brother in law, not your best friend from high school, not the cousin who keeps asking. Round it down by 40% if asked. Bro, I'm scraping. Inflation's killing me. That's the answer, always. Number 2, what you're buying next. The next truck, the next house, the next investment, the next side business. You tell 0 people until the title is in your name and the deal has closed. Sun Tzu, Chapter 11, line 56 again. Dark, impenetrable as night. Number 3, who you're working with. Your accountant, your lawyer, your supplier, your contact at the city. The block does not need that org chart. Every name you give them is a name they can use to go around you, undercut you, or steal the relationship. You think this is paranoid. It's not paranoid. It's the rule the people winning have been running for 2,500 years. You are the only one in the room who didn't know there was a rule. Pillar 1 done. Stop announcing. Start positioning. Now the harder one. Open the book. Chapter 3. The chapter is titled Attack by Stratagem. Read that title twice. Stratagem. Not force, not effort. Stratagem. Cleverness, position, trickery, even. The whole chapter is about how to win without breaking a sweat. Line 2 of chapter 3. He who knows when to fight and when not to fight will be victorious. Read it slow, knows when to fight and when not to fight. The word and is doing all the work in that sentence. The second half is where Latinos lose every single time. Sun Tzu hammers this in the same chapter, line 3, line 4, line 5. Listen. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. He will win whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all its ranks. He will win who, prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. 5 conditions for victory. 5. And he opens with knows when not to fight. The first condition, before anything else, before strategy, before troops, before weapons. before all of it, knowing which fights to skip. Most translations of this chapter end with the most quoted line in the entire book. Chapter 3, line 18. You may have heard it. Most people who quote it have never read it in context. Here it is. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. 3 sentences, 3 levels. Level 1 knows the enemy and himself, wins 100 battles. That's the operator who sees the bank's actual rate sheet, knows his own credit score down to the digit, walks in, gets the deal. Level 2 knows himself, but not the enemy, trades wins for losses. That's the smart Latino who hustles hard, but has no idea how the gringo system actually prices him. Level 3 knows neither the enemy nor himself, loses every single time. Brother, most of you are level 3. Don't take it personal. The system was built to keep you there. But if you stay there, that's on you, not the system. Because we fight. Brother, we fight. We fight the cousin at the cookout over a comment he made about the wife. We fight the guy in the comment section because he said something stupid about ICE. We fight the Mexican against the Salvadoran, the Cuban against the Boricua, the Honduran against the Mexican. We fight the manager at the warehouse because he raised his voice. We fight the cashier at the gas station because he gave us the wrong change. We fight on Sunday because the team lost. We fight on Monday because the wife said something. We fight on Tuesday because the primo posted something on Instagram. Every fight costs energy. Every fight you take is a fight. You're not saving for the one that pays. Sun Tzu, Chapter 2. The chapter is titled Waging War. Line 3. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. He's literally saying long fights make you weaker, even when you win, especially when you win. Because the cost of winning a small war is the same energy you needed to fight the big one. You are the country. Your body is the country. Your bank account is the country. Every fight is prolonged warfare against a target that pays $0. Now look at the men with money. Watch them carefully. I want you to actually watch. The rich man does not fight at the cookout. He doesn't fight in the comment section. He doesn't fight the cashier. He doesn't fight his cousin. He doesn't even fight his enemies in public. He'll have a conversation with you that ends with a smile and a handshake, and 3 weeks later, your contract is gone and you can't figure out exactly what happened. The rich man fights one war quietly, with money, with lawyers, with time, with leverage. He picks the fight, he picks the terrain, he picks the moment, and then he doesn't fight again for another 6 months. You fight 40 times a week. He fights twice a year. That is the entire gap. Sun Tzu has a chapter called Weak Points and Strong. Chapter 6, line 2. Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted. Fresh for the fight versus arrives exhausted. That's the entire difference between the man with money and the man without. Move 2 from this video today. Make a list in your phone right now. Pause the video and do it. I'll wait. The list title is Battles I Will Not Fight. Under it, write 5 things. The cousin's comment about your wife, not fighting it. The brother in law's politics, not fighting it. The Facebook post about ICE, not fighting it. The manager who raised his voice, not today, maybe never, definitely not today. The team that lost on Sunday, not yelling, not posting, not buying the jersey, not giving them another Saturday of your life. 5 battles, off the list, forever. Now, the energy you save, and it is real energy, brother, real time, real money, gets pointed at one fight, the right fight, the fight that pays. For most of you, that fight is the same one fight. It is the move from worker to owner, from hourly to project rate, from employee to LLC, from renter to landlord, from I do gutters for that guy to I own the gutter company and 3 guys do the work for me. That is your war. That is the only war that pays. Sun Tzu, Chapter 4, line 15, again. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Put yourself beyond defeat first, quietly, then strike. The way you put yourself beyond defeat is boring. It is 6 months of saving. It is the LLC paperwork. It is the first commercial insurance policy. It is the second laptop you only use for the business. It is the bank account at a credit union nobody on your block uses. It is the boring moves nobody is going to clap for. While you're doing those boring moves, the other Latino men on your block are still fighting at the cookout, still posting, still announcing, still draining themselves on the wrong battlefield. 6 months from now, you'll look up and the gap will be visible. They'll be in the same fight they were in last summer. You'll be in a different war entirely. Now, here's the part where most videos end. Two rules: stop announcing, stop fighting the wrong battles, save the energy, win the war, like and subscribe. That's the lie. I told you this is a 2,500-year-old book. I told you the first rule was deception. The deepest deception in this video, the one that's been operating on you for the last 14 minutes, is the idea that the war is between you and the bank, between you and the gringo, between you and the system. That's not the war. The war is between you and the man you were taught to be, the man your father was taught to be by his father, who learned it from his father, who learned it from a country where the rich already won, and the poor were trained to fight each other while the rich loaded the boats. You inherited a fighter, the wrong fighter, a fighter who fights every small thing and never the right thing, a fighter who is loud when he should be quiet, quiet when he should be loud, generous with information and stingy with leverage, brave at the cookout and a coward in the bank. That fighter cannot win this war. He was designed by people who needed you to lose. They built him with reggaeton, with telenovelas, with the cousin who keeps you in town, with the wife who guilts you for working too much, with the abuela who told you not to get above your station, with the priest who said money is dirty. Sun Tzu has the line for this, the most quoted line in the entire book. We already saw it. Chapter 3, line 18. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Most of you don't know yourself. You think the enemy is white people or rich people or the gringo or the system or the cartel or the politician or your boss. The enemy is the small, loud version of you that your culture handed you on day one and called a man. Kill that version, quietly, without announcement, without ceremony. He won't go easy. He'll fight you in the mirror every morning for 2 years, but every time you don't fight at the cookout, you killed him a little. Every time you don't post the truck, you killed him a little. Every time you save instead of show, you killed him a little. The new man, the quiet one, the positioning one, the one who picks one war and wins it, gets built on the bones of the loud one. Sun Tzu wrote 13 chapters. The 13th chapter is called The Use of Spies. It's the only chapter that talks about information itself as a weapon. The whole book builds to it. The man who knows what others don't know wins. The man who tells nobody anything wins. The man who learns the enemy's whole rate sheet while showing the enemy a smile and an empty hand wins. That man can be you, quietly, without anybody on the block ever seeing it happen. Sun Tzu's last line, last chapter, last sentence of the entire book. What enables the wise sovereign and the good general to strike and conquer and achieve things beyond the reach of ordinary men is foreknowledge. Foreknowledge. You know the rules now. The men taking your money have known them for 2,500 years. You knew them for the last 16 minutes. 16 minutes is enough. The rules don't get harder. The rules get easier. What gets harder is the silence. Sitting at the cookout, listening to a primo say something stupid and not fighting it. Watching the comment section move and not posting. Hearing the cousin ask what you make and lying through your teeth with a flat face. Hearing the brother-in-law brag about his new lease and just nodding. That's the work. That's the war. The book is 103 pages. Read it. Buy a paperback for $9 on Amazon, or read the Lionel Giles 1910 translation free on Project Gutenberg. Either way, read it once this week. Read it once a month after that. The men who run this country read it 4 times a year for the rest of their lives. You can too. 2 moves. Stop announcing. Stop fighting the wrong fights. 6 months, one man, one quiet war. I'll see you on the other side. If this video helped you out, hit the like button and subscribe so the next one finds you. Click that notification bell. That's how you catch every new Gordo worldwide video the day it drops. And if you want to keep building, watch this one next. This is Gordo. Apply one thing this week. We'll be back next week.